Yeah, Julie, well, this preliminary report gives a high-level after-action summary. It includes available records, data, and interviews with DPU staff members. But a handful of key components of the crisis are missing, from an analysis of the regional impact, the city's internal and external communication during the crisis, a more technical analysis of process failures, and a first-hand interview from the DPU director at the time. Richmond residents are getting a glimpse into the failures that resulted in residents losing water for days last month. The city dropped a 15-page preliminary report Thursday. It details the third-party firm's initial findings that had rippling effects regionally. The report found what CBS 6 had already reported. The loss of power at the water plant occurred because the switchgear failed to automatically transfer power from the power source that went out to a second power feed that still had power. The report says the backup battery attached to the valves failed to close the valves, which resulted in flooding. DPU interviews did not clarify if the backup battery for the valve system did what it was intended to do. The after-action summary stated at 5:50 a.m. the IT system lost power at the exact same time the plant lost power. The report says a backup generator has to be manually activated, but did not mention a generator being used during the power outage at the plant. Engineering experts have told CBS 6 that a backup generator should have automatically turned on, or at least manually been turned on when the power went out. The review found there is also no established training procedures or manuals at the plant. It details how there is a lack of established written standard operating procedures for typical plant operations and for emergency procedures. The report then gave the following recommendations. DPU should develop severe storm event response protocols that require maintenance staff on call during storm events to respond within 30 minutes or less. DPU should install a variety of backup batteries, also known as uninterrupted power supplies, that can last for at least 1 hour. One of those should be attached to the IT system. The report also recommends providing an automatic transfer system for the existing backup generator system. It states that this is already part of a current capital project. The report did not include some explanations and analysis, like a review of how the city responded to the crisis publicly, why backup generators weren't manually turned on, if DPU staff tested all backup power systems in advance of the winter storm, something that VDH has reported to CBS 6 likely didn't happen, why there was an alleged lack of communication with Henrico and Hanover counties who pay Richmond to provide water to residents. The report also notably did not interview former DPU Director April Bigham, who was on site during the event and heavily involved with the response. We asked Mayor Danny Avula why this report is less comprehensive than the Henrico and Hanover water crisis reports released earlier this week.
Mayor, we observed that this report was a little bit less comprehensive than Henrico and Hanover's report. Do you feel like it is complete? Did the city attorney review it in any way and edit it in any way before it was put out? And do you feel like the public should be satisfied with what's been put out so far?
Yeah, you know, the report is just a very preliminary report, right? What we say, and the reason that our reporting has taken longer than both Henrico and Hanover's is because one of the things that I was really clear that we needed to commit to early on was having an independent look of somebody who didn't have a pre-existing relationship with the city and with the water treatment plant. Henrico, for example, used WRA, who is a firm that has been embedded deeply in our water treatment plant for years and years, and so that's why they were able to hit the ground running a little bit faster and have a more comprehensive report ready much sooner. But because of our commitment to finding somebody outside of Richmond who had not ever had any pre-existing relationship, just the whole procurement process around that took a little bit longer. So the report that has been released is really just a preliminary look at sequencing, like what happened, what was the sequence of events. And then we will have a much more robust report that comes out in a couple of weeks that's the tail end that includes deeper analysis and future recommendations.
Sarah.
So we know and the city is making the mayor and the new director of DPU available for in-depth questions about the report in the morning. CBS 6 will be there and will continue to ask about some of the questions surrounding this situation that have gone on unanswered. In the studio, I'm Maggie Marshall, CBS 6 News.